The topic of our project is humanitarian emergency using opportunistic networking. The humanitarian emergency is a series of natural disasters like earthquake, flood, or something else which is threatening to people's life, property, and safety. And in such disasters, the usual communication tools like cell phone or computers may crash because of the base station may be dead in this situation. So we need to rebuild such a communication network, use the only tools we have, like Android devices, Android pad, or something else, to build a network which we can communicate our ideas. And the topology of the network is like this. Assume in the network there are 4 devices, 1, 2, 3, 4, and each has a limited range of area to communicate. Like the node 1, 2, 3 can reach each other. However, the node 4 can just reach 1 and 2. The node 3 is beyond its range. So in such situation, we need to build some protocol to make 3 and 4 can communicate each other, and also as well as 3, 2, 1, and 2. So call back to the TCP/IP protocol. The IP protocol takes care of the which node to for a specific node to communicate with, and the TCP protocol takes care of how the 2 nodes are communicating. So in this ad hoc, we need to build some TCP/IP protocol to make the communication happen. The IP is used to uniquely identify each node. Let's assume the IP range is assigned by us, so we can choose whatever we want. And in such situation, we choose the IP address. The totally IP range is 6 bits. In other words, there are at maximum 128 devices. So let's see how the network is built. By the way, the network is built one by one. At first, there is only 1 devices and 2 and more. So in the time 0, there are only node 3 in the network, and in the time 1, the node 5 asks to join, and it will send request to node 3, and node 3 will assign an IP address to node 5. And how node 3 assign an IP address? See this table, and this table is kept by each node in the network, and the table is by 2 attributes. One is node ID, which is identified by the MAC address of each node. And the IP address is a set of available IP addresses the node can assign. Let's say at time 0, there is only 1 node, which is node 3 in the network. So the set of available IP address for node 3 is 0 to 127, since the total range is 6 bits. And when node 5 asks to join, and node 3 will divide its range into 2 equal portions, and keeps 1 for himself, which is 64 to 127, and the other is 32 to 63 to the node 5. And now the node 5 has the available IP address to assign, which is this. And let's take an example. At time 2, node 1 asks to join, and at this point, node 1 sends a request to the network, and the request can reach to node 5 and node 3. And at this point, node 5 and node 3 receives the request and sends the answers back. The answer contains the IP address of node 5 or node 3 and the MAC address which is received in the request. and the table kept by node 5 and node 3, which is exactly the same. And for node 3, it will receive 2 answers, one by one. In this situation, the node 3 just picks the first one and ignore the rest. And now the node 3, in this point, node 5 will divide its IP address range, which is 0 to 63 as before, but now it just keeps 32 to 623 to node 5, and the rest, the same part is 0 to 31. This range to the node 1, and which is a binary division actually. So now, and at this point, the node 1 receives its available IP address set and its own IP address, and it says, okay, I got you, and it sends the acknowledgement. At this point, node 5 receives the acknowledgement, and it knows now the network has 3 members, which is 1, 3, 5. And now let's go to the next step, which is UI.
Well, this is our application. When click the button, we'll open this application. First comes into our view is the main interface. Click the button, welcome. Then we'll jump to the interface of device search, and it will tell us a list of the devices we may find, and click one of these users. Then, if successful connecting, it will jump to the interface of chat. Otherwise, it will stay in the old page just now. Okay, then this is our interface of chat, and at the top of this page is the progress bar. It will show us how long and when will this image be received by other users, and this is the text input box. And for example, we can type text and image, and send image from this box. For example, let's type hello, and then click the send button. Okay, now you can see this is the text I just sent it, and it successfully be received by other users.
Okay, now I'm gonna talk about the technology we use to connect the 2 devices. Here we find a sample code from Google that uses Wi-Fi Direct. We first open it from Samsung Galaxy 3. That's this one. And at the same time, we also open the same application from another device. So yeah, this time it doesn't work. Just a minute. Okay, now we see that 2 applications is finding the device which enabled Wi-Fi Direct. So now this smartphone is acting as a server. So we can see there's a dialog to ask the user whether it accepted connection. So we tap accept. Then from this phone, we can see here's pop out chatting room interface. So at this point, we can tap something here.